and she saw what had made the noise. A small log seemed to be wedged there, one end tipped up and hitting the edge. She tried to steady her hand, but still had trouble punching in the shortcut on her phone to the local police office. When Shelby had explained what she'd found, she walked to the end of the dock and sat on the bench of a picnic table, near the parking lot, hugging herself to warm up, waiting for the police to arrive. She had no desire to be near the body or even add her weight to the houseboat that tried to lock him in place. She heard the siren, followed by a screeching sound as the Alexandria Bay police black and white SUV made a quick stop on the parking lot behind her. When Chief Tekla Stone's footsteps sounded loudly behind her, Shelby looked around, but didn't say anything, only pointed to the houseboat. Shelby watched as the chief made her way slowly along the dock and stopped at the post near the end where the houseboat was tied up. She crouched down, removed her cap, and leaned over to try and see beneath the dock. But she didn't try to move the body. The thought flitted through Shelby's head that maybe she should go over and grip the back of Stone's jacket, just in case she might start to tumble in. The chief was her Aunt Edie's age, after all, and had the gray curls to prove it. When Stone looked back at her, Shelby realized what a foolish idea that would have been. The chief stood up with great effort, giving a hint of her advancing age, then put her cap back on, pulled her cell phone out of her jacket pocket, and made a call. When she finished, she retraced her steps and sat down beside Shelby. "He's dead, all right. Are you okay?" For a minute it looked like she might touch Shelby's hand, but seemed to decide against it, and leaned back instead. "I'm fine, I guess. It was just such a shock. I thought it might be a large piece of driftwood or something, and I was worried it might damage the houseboat. But a body—" "Do you know him?" "It is a man, then? I couldn't tell. I mean, I didn't really get a good look at him. I hope it's no one from town." Shelby shivered, and Stone put her arm around her shoulder. For comfort or warmth, Shelby wasn't sure. "Huh. We'll just have to wait for Doc Rivers before we can pull him out for a good look. You might not want to be here for that. There's no telling how long the body has been in the water, or what shape it's in." She turned and looked closely at Shelby. "Why don't you go over to your Aunt Edie's for now? I'll come and get you when we're done here." "But I have to get over to the castle to open the store." "I suggest you give your good friend Matthew Kessler a call and ask him to hang a sign on the door saying you're delayed." Shelby didn't miss the sarcasm in Stone's voice when she talked about Matthew, but it no longer came as a surprise. Some relationships were destined never to improve. She looked down at her pajamas. She couldn't very well walk to her aunt's house wearing those, and her car keys were still in the houseboat. Chief Stone seemed to realize the same thing. "Where are your car keys? I'll bring them to you. Also, your purse." "On the kitchen counter. Thanks. Don't let JT out. Please." Stone looked back at her. "The cat." Stone nodded and walked back to the dock, letting herself into the houseboat. When she returned, Shelby asked, "How will I be able to tell you if I know him if I'm not here when you pull him out?" "I'll take a photo if he's not in bad shape. Now, you head up there and I'll be over just as soon as I can." "Do you think it was an accident?" Shelby didn't dare mention the M word. Murder. Not after what had happened last fall. Too soon to say. Now go. Shelby nodded and took one last look at the houseboat. From where she was sitting, everything looked normal. The sun was glittering off the wind chimes.